The story begins with a dad bod Thor in the Himalayas on Earth 56337 laying down in the snow, finally understanding what peace was. However, that did not last long as a huge burst of lightning strikes from the sky, leaving Thor angry that his hammer, Mjolnir, still found him even on this desolate mountain. Thor struggled to lift his hammer as he was not worthy, and we see in the past that he struggled to lift his hammer to defend both Asgard and Midgard, which led him into a depression where he simply wanted to be left alone by Mjolnir, even throwing beer bottles at it. Nothing would work though, as the hammer continued to follow him no matter where he went, reminding him of his unworthiness. The story then takes us back to the present, where he throws a punch at his hammer, drawing blood on his fist. Suddenly, a man appears behind Thor named Lakung the Thunderer and the guardian of the mystical place on this earth. Lakung opens a portal for Thor, and they both enter the ruins of a mystical place. Lakung then explains to Thor that the power to take revenge on those who ruin the world is behind the door. The power of the immortal dragon Sholau, the power of the Iron Fist. At this time, Mjolnir keeps following Thor, and in his anger, Thor punches the hammer again. This time though, Lakung tells Thor that his training has begun and to keep hitting the hammer. As Thor continues to bloody his hammer with his fists, he grows stronger, and his dad bod disappears, and we see the strong Thor we are used to. Thor continues to punch his hammer day and night until one night the hammer began dodging Thor's fists, which Thor concluded that the hammer could feel pain, and he was hurting it, making him only want to punch the hammer even harder. The hammer couldn't take it anymore, and instead of dodging, began to fight back against Thor when Lakung appears, telling Thor that the hammer is shaking in its boots, and that it still thinks Thor is still unworthy, and encourages Thor to stand on business and show the hammer what kind of god he really is. Lakung then declares Thor the god who punches them, just as Thor strikes against a Mjolnir lightning attack, finally knocking the hammer down for good. Lakung wonders if Thor will pick up his hammer again, and Thor literally says no. Thor no longer needs his hammer to deem him worthy. Just when you think Thor has finally completed his training, Lakung smacks him across the face, and Thor gets right back up, but when Lakung calls him the Thunder God, Thor punches him right through the door. Lakung then tells him that the immortal dragon was in fact dead, but he trained to use the power that he was born with, and finally gave Thor his title as the God of Fists. Thor allows Mjolnir, emphasis on allows, now to accompany him on his quest, ending with Ghost Rider appearing in his car with Captain America. Thor beats his hammer bloody and becomes the God of Fists. Stories of Thor always hit so good. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.